Last month, the European Union took an unprecedented step against Poland, one of its member states. The Union invoked its strongest sanctions against the country, which could strip it of its voting rights within the bloc of nations. The move is so extreme that many foreign policy experts have even called it the EU's diplomatic nuclear option. But what led to this historic decision, and what exactly does it mean for everyone involved? First, let's start with the move by the European Union on December 20th, 2017. The European Commission, which is the executive wing responsible for implementing laws in the EU, announced that it was triggering Article 7 of the Union's treaty. The action was a big deal too because it was the first time it had ever been used in history. Article 7 was created to prevent nations in the Union from adopting policies that threaten democratic institutions, like legislative or judicial branches of government. To be implemented, the measure has two key parts that must be approved. First, after the motion has been triggered, it has to be approved by 4/5 of all Union members and have the backing of the European Parliament. After that, the European Council gives the nation in question a formal warning and recommendations. The nation then has 3 months to respond before EU members have to unanimously vote to launch sanctions and suspend the nation's voting rights. That makes it pretty hard for these types of measures to go into effect. So while the triggering of Article 7 remains historic and could lead to sanctions against Poland, it's pretty much seen as just a symbolic gesture by the EU. But why Poland and why now? The step came as Poland's parliament approved new controversial laws that could limit the independence of the judicial branch. The laws have been seen as a consolidation of power for the nation's right-wing Law and Justice Party, which currently holds the most seats in parliament and the presidency. The judicial reforms would essentially allow a ruling party to select lower-level judges and dismiss many of the nation's Supreme Court judges. That is what the European Union has a problem with. They say this type of political interference with the judicial branch is a risk to the rule of law, which is a fundamental value of the European Union.
Sadly, our concerns have deepened. Within a period of 2 years, a significant number of laws have been adopted, 13 in total, which put at serious risk the independence of the judiciary and the separation of powers in Poland.
Since the Law and Justice Party came to power in 2015, they've adopted multiple laws that have affected the judicial branch. The EU even warned Poland's president that it might trigger the nuclear option if he signed the bills into law, which he did anyway. This all brings us back to the reaction and whether this will have a lasting impact on Poland and the European Union. While many EU members have voted to take the measure against Poland, not all members plan on supporting the implementation of Article 7. Hungary, another Central European country that has faced criticism from the EU over its right-wing populist policies, has said it plans to veto the Union's action. And since the next phase of implementation requires a unanimous vote by the European Union members, the action is pretty much dead in the water, meaning Poland's Law and Justice Party's consolidation of power appears to be set to continue, at least for the near future. The recent laws passed by Poland's Law and Justice Party really shouldn't come as a surprise. Since it gained power in 2015, the nation has become increasingly nationalistic. But what other countries around the world have seen a rise in nationalism last year? Find out in this video to the right. Thanks for watching Now This World, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more every week.